This week on the Push All Loads podcast, we talk about life and the common mistakes of top 10 lists.
Good. 3, 2, 1. How's Jojo, Dan?
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Up All Legs podcast with myself, Damik.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on?
How is Jojo?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean new coach Jojo?
New coach! Cheers.
New coach Jojo. Yeah, Jojo's good. We were in London last week actually. Me and Mike went in to do a vlog with Mr. Luke Johnson at the Personal Trainer Collective, which was very good. And yeah, we met up with Joe in London.
What company's that? I've not heard of it.
PT Collective.
Yeah.
Never heard of it?
No, never heard of it.
The PT Collective basically train personal trainers, Tom.
Do they?
Right, yeah.
We'll see.
They train personal trainers to be good personal trainers.
They're going to train them to be better soon.
I think they will be soon. That's what I have heard. More on that at a later date, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for that episode because I get to rub it in Tom's face. So, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, guys. It's all down to me. But anyway, Jojo's good. To be fair, like it's one of those where with everything we're doing, it's not like she started on. And then on day one, it was like we had loads and loads of shit planned, loads of stuff to do. It's more a case of it's just slowly integrating her into everything and slowly getting her to start using the branding soon and all that sort of stuff. Like it's not, nothing changes really hugely day to day. It's more just getting up to speed and I suppose going over expectations of what's required and obviously thinking about business, branding stuff, all that sort of crap.
You can join my support group.
Yeah.
So how to kind of cope with you. How to cope with Mike.
It's not me she needs to worry about. It's Mike.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's just obviously there'll be a bit of a transition to things and how we do things. Like I think on camera and stuff, she's very similar to us. So it's just the dynamic's not really anything to worry about. Yeah, it's all good. We've got lots of stuff planned this year, so it'll be good. She's getting involved in her clients, obviously also involved in our photo shoots over the summer and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see when she starts coming out of shell a bit more on those sorts of events and things. It'll be all good. But yeah, no, she's a lovely girl, so it's fun.
That mean we have to have her on?
Pardon?
Do we have to have her on?
Oh, to be fair, yeah, we could have her on. To be fair, actually, I hadn't thought about that. If you want to talk to Tom,
we haven't bothered having a guest for a while. To be fair.
No, people just love us, mate, don't they? They just love us.
We probably should have some more guests, shouldn't we? But we've just been, I don't know. We've spoken to everybody we find interesting in the industry. Ooh. Not really, but yeah, it's just interesting, isn't it?
It's like just people we've had on, to be fair, and it's not like there's anyone grown out of thin air, is there?
No.
Our time a little.
So we'll just get randoms, people on the street, be fine.
Might as well, mate. That's how we started. That's how we started this one. So.
No, but I think Mike will be annoyed. It took him about 4 years to get on. Might take out like 4 weeks.
Let's get Joe on 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
He'll love that. He will love that. In other news, I have just got back into listening to podcasts. How weird is that? I've had my own one for this long.
Not this one.
Not this one. Definitely not this one. Fuck that. Dreadful decision. No, I think it was one that's called The Diary of a CEO or something. It's by a guy called Stephen Bartlett. I listened to one, and I listened to it for about 20 minutes. And the guest he had on and what they were talking about, I went and bought the guest's book within 10 minutes of listening to it.
Wow.
It's just like, wow, I'm that easily persuaded now. I was like, Jesus Christ. But no, because he was talking about some really interesting concepts. I've been spending a lot of time, I think, trying to, I suppose, take some time out and just kind of figure out shit, I suppose. More like reading and learning more and trying to be better in general. Anyway, that's another podcast for another time, I think. But I've started getting into reading more, and I really want to focus on not wasting time. Like, I hate wasting time, and I find myself at the moment with a bit more free time, and I'm kind of like, right, I need to do something with that. So from that, I've turned to kind of like reading, which is weird. I used to read before, but not with the motivation that I'm reading now. Anyway, so I went online and I saw that this guy's book has been widely reviewed and it's very highly thought of. But it's basically called I've not got it yet. It's from Amazon. It's in the post. It's called Indistractable. It's basically the process of becoming someone who doesn't get distracted by things. And I read it off the back of reading another book called Start Now, Get Perfect Later. And it's this whole concept around that everyone waits until a perfect time to do something and they just procrastinate. And it kind of, reading the book, I was reading it going, oh my fucking God, this is like me every single fucking day. This is what I do all the time. And it basically goes over the reasonings why we leave stuff to the last minute, why we wait until the latest point before a deadline to do something, why we, when we got to-do lists, why we go for the fucking easy thing to do every single time first and we leave the hardest thing to the end, like all this sort of stuff. And again, the same with the indistractable thing. It's quite interesting because it's all like, it's human nature. Like none of us are immune to it. It's just how you deal with it. And I found myself, since starting to read that book, like picking up on me doing it and going, fucking stop doing that. Like, do you know, like little things, like just how easily you are distracted by everything, like with phones and notifications and all that sort of shit. But yeah, so there you go. I was listening to a podcast in the car because I was like, rather than listen to music, I was like, I'll be smart, make the most of my time. And within 10 minutes, I had been persuaded to buy a book because the guy was very intelligent and he obviously knew what he was talking about. But yeah, there you
go. Was there there's a phrase that you were just kind of talking about. There's a phrase that resonates with me. Kind of been this year as well, especially this more course like content creation and all this kind of stuff. And you always kind of panic whether it's good enough. But there was, I don't know who said it to me. I think probably just a colleague, more likely, probably Henry or Jocelyn, who said, "Done is better than perfect." It's like,
yeah, there's a lot of that kind of mentality.
I like that mentality. It's like you're probably gonna, especially with the stuff we do, like I'll deliver the same workshop 6 to 10 times, but getting it done once, the chances are the next 2, 3, 4, 5 times is then it becomes a little bit more perfect.
Like we can draw parallels from that from the gym, right? Just start, you'll be fine. I think
people, but at least the session done. Cool.
Yeah, and it's so true. And I remember I read a post from Mike Samuels, who is the guy who used to be in fitness and is now in copywriting.
Yeah. And
he wrote a post, and it was about the guy, the film Catch Me If You Can was based on. You know, the guy who, a con man basically.
Yeah.
And he basically conned his way as a sociology professor. And he basically spent, I think it was a year or something, being a sociology professor. And when they caught him, they asked him how he managed to do that, because obviously he's not a professor and he's not got a PhD. And he literally said, I just had to read the chapter before I told it to the class. Like, it just had to be a chapter ahead of everyone else. And it's like so true. Like, you don't need to know a million times more than people. You just need to know more than them. And it's like understanding that knowing a little bit more is enough. Like when we talk about, calories and things like that, it's like all we need to know to a certain degree is like the basic stuff. And like people try and learn all the advanced shit and go, oh, I'm not good enough to put out content yet. It's like, no, you know more than everyone else. Like just do it. And I'm trying to take a bit of time to use my time and not consume shit and actually consume useful stuff, so that when I'm in a position where I'm ready to action it, I can. Because we talked about, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast before, but hopefully I'm buying a house in the summer. So it's kind of like
with a tom room.
A tom room, yeah. So like everything's a bit on hold until that, in terms of like my headspace, my like everything, like loads of stuff. I've got loads of stuff planned for when I move house. And it kind of like funny reading the books, because they're kind of like, they're saying obviously like don't use that as a fucking excuse, just get on with shit or whatever. And I could do, but I know in my head I would want to wait until then because it would be loads better, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. But in the meantime, I'm consuming a lot of stuff so that when that happens and I'm in a better headspace, it will just be a case of doing shit. I think we as a nation, that sounds really bad. I don't think as a nation, true. But I think we just as a race, I think we just consume too much crap and not enough good stuff. And I found myself taking time out and being like, oh, it's okay to just like sit on my phone, and it's okay to just watch TV, and it's okay to just relax and take some time out. And I realized I was just wasting time that I could have been spent walking the dog, listening to a podcast or reading a book. That would be a better way of consuming stuff rather than all the other shit that's all over social media.
Yeah, but then you're missing out on catfish.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean,
new season's been out. Mate. Is it? Yeah, I need to binge watch it a little bit this week.
Good. Maybe I should spend time watching that.
Chloe's strangely interested in it now. She refused to watch it. It was like, this is garbage, this is awful. But if you put it on and then you follow the storyline for like 10-15 minutes, and they'll be like, oh, but I want to see you at the end. No, we got to go out now. No. Why can't we stay and just find out who it is? It's like,
it's funny because the same thing happened in our house. Laura's watching Botched.
Yeah, but
which is the program where obviously people go into these two plastic surgeons and they've had some really awful plastic surgery. They look awful, they feel awful, and these guys basically fix them, almost like tattoo fixes, but only like plastic surgery. And I walked in, I was like, "What the fuck are you watching? This is awful. This is shit." And then the other day I was just sat in there and I was like, "Lou, do you want to put Botched on?" I was like, it's like such easy to watch trashy TV, but then like some of the people on it are so stupid.
Oh, they're so ridiculous.
Like, why do you want bigger? Why do you want a bigger arse? Why? Like, it's huge. Like, what is this all about? And the people come in, obviously, they're not well, like mentally. I don't think. Like to want to have more and more. But
there was one girl, we were watching it as well, because I think after you guys posted about it, I was like, I've watched it. And Chloe's like, what? Of course you have. Like, yeah, I've watched this kind of crap TV. It's something that both myself and one of my sisters, we like. It sounds weird. I feel like we read a lot and we read a lot of research and all this kind of, I guess what some people would go highbrow crap at the start during our jobs, and then it's just TV just to like just. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, like I think
it's completely switch off.
It is really important to have that. Yeah, 100%. I think it's and yeah. To be fair, like what I was talking about, like from my point of view, like obviously I have like hours during the day where I'm like freer than you would be or other people would be and stuff. And I'm not saying like at 9 o'clock at night I'm worrying about consuming shit. I'm like, no, that's the time to do it. That's cool. That's fine. Watching Botched or whatever is
Botched. There was one person had double breast implants, but like stacked upon each other.
Yeah.
We're like, what are you doing? That's madness. Then one wanted essentially breast implants on top of their head, because they like apparently some girls they make like a ramp with their hair, so it's like a pillow bit, so it goes over, but it's normally like a little cushion they put in. And this I think she was going through gender switching, whatever. What's it called?
Oh no, I don't want to get into an argument.
She was going from male to female and transitioning. Thank you. And had set a budget. All right, had already spent 200 grand on stuff, but had set a budget of only $1 million. She had $1 million over her lifetime to spend on plastic surgery, and already spent 200 grand. And then
mental.
And then they were like trying to get the nose smaller and smaller and smaller. And obviously these guys are meant to be legit good surgeons, I guess, but more safety conscious. And he ended up doing nothing to her. It was like, that's dangerous. I'm not doing that.
But that's why, like, because Laura was watching it, she kind of quite likes it, because they don't just let people do it. They're like, no, you don't need that. You're being stupid. Like, that's ridiculous. They're actually like legit.
They're like fixers, and they're mostly always making them better. And yeah. After all, but it's really. We just finished Luther as well, which is awesome.
Never watched it.
Oh, do mate! If you like serial killers and crazy stuff, it's good.
Yeah, I don't mind that so much.
We've kind of binged it over probably 2-3 weeks ish. Pretty good. Enjoyed it. Don't really understand why the episodes is like 6 in the first season, then 4, then 4, then 2, then 4. Really odd. But yeah. Weird.
Yeah, but yeah, the other thing I wanted to on that as well is that I think people consume far too much. Obviously, with social media stuff, we talk about it all the time. That's what we kind of do for our jobs and stuff like that. But I can't help but think people consume far too much shit on social media, like just in general, like spend too much time.
Your feed is unreal.
Ridiculous, isn't it? It is bad. But yeah, the other thing I found myself doing is just like I got the news feed blocker on Facebook. So like on my computer now, if I click on Facebook, nothing comes up. Like it just blocks it. So you get your notifications, but you don't get like the news feed bit in the middle. Things like that. It's just not. I don't know. I just think there are certain things like on Instagram. I follow basketball a lot. I follow obviously other people in the industry, but I find myself engaging in stuff less and less and less. I just don't think it's a great place to spend huge amounts of time. What with the recent flipping news as well, obviously. I just don't think people should be consuming huge amounts of it. Like, I don't. That's what I mean when I say consuming things. Like, read a book. Like, you're going to get far more out of reading a book than you are from scrolling on Instagram. Like, legit. I just think people, our generation, I think, where we're at right now, it seems to be an issue that people spend more time on Instagram than they do, speaking to their friends and families on, like, in person or on the phone or whatever. I don't know. Like, I'm not fucking perfect. I'm not sitting there suggesting, like,
no?
But I think if nothing else, it should be a wake up call that people need to realize that, other people's opinions don't really matter hugely. Anyway, this is getting real fucking deep real quick.
Yeah, I know. Let's go to something slightly more positive because, again, with these shoes, Joshua Chiptegei, did you see him running the 5K at the weekend?
Oh, these are Nike shoes that they've said are okay, but obviously they're not because people keep breaking records in them.
Yeah. So he smashed the world 5 kilometer record. Guess what he ran? He ran a 5K in.
I think I saw it, so I don't.
So bearing in mind, like, a decent 5K time for most adults is, I guess, between 20 and 25 minutes, right?
Did he do it in 13 minutes and 2 seconds?
No. Oh. He did it in 12 minutes and 51 seconds.
Oh my god.
He went basically, like,
did he fly around it?
Per mile, I think he's running like 4 minutes 7, something like that, per mile. And he's done like a Roger Bannister, like, 4 minute mile 3 times.
Insane.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, he's
ridiculous.
Just absolutely smashing around. But it broke, like, the other one by 27 seconds. That's a long way, isn't it?
Yeah. Because of the shoes.
Don't know.
I'm sure he's good as well, but
sure he's pretty. Yeah, he's like the 10,000 meter world champion, so he's pretty good. But still, 1K split. So he was running like 1 kilometers in 2:31.
That's quick.
Absolutely bonkers. I mean,
I couldn't
Farah did it in 13:30.
I couldn't do flipping 2 kilometers in that time. 3 kilometers. Probably do 2, maybe, not 3.
Yeah, I'd struggle. Yeah, I'd really.
Well, you've got to flipping do it, mate, haven't you? Good luck with that. All for you.
Absolutely bonkers. But yeah, those are the Vaporflies. But yeah, little Tom Colville, one of my coaches, and Cara told me to listen to Science and Sport podcast. He did a review of the Vaporflies. So we might have a little bit. I'll go away and listen to that and have a little review of them. But what I think about it, we did have a little like gander, didn't we, before? But that was all kind of hearsay and like Evening Standard news and stuff. But bonkers. But there's also, I read some stuff on, there's some British athletes. There's Laura something and some other girl running in Glasgow around. They're just smashing PBs and records now. They've got some new Nike like technology on their spikes, but they're also like custom. Or they're like custom, right? So what's the like cars that don't get released?
Oh, I do, mate. Never had one.
Basically, they're not going to come out to the public. But yeah, they'll be just there. But they're there for some athletes, and they're just seeing how they run in them, and they're absolutely smashing PBs. So they don't. But I think will be new rules that you cannot run in shoes that are not available for the public to buy. Is the idea. I think it's a bit weird personally, but
yeah, that is ridiculous. Actually,
I think they're like professional athletes, but I'm pretty sure that's.
I'm sure that all Nike would do would be go, oh, okay, they are available to the public. It's £5,000 a pair. no one's going to buy them, are they? Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really, really odd. But yeah, was it Nike? It's all about Nike. They've just got too much money. Nike shoes.
I also saw on Sky Sports earlier. There was a woman, Laura Kenny. I think she's a famous cyclist.
Yeah.
She fell off. Yeah, she fell off her bike, fucked her shoulder up, and the doctor was like, "Yeah, you've got to have surgery on that. It's completely broken. Season's over, kind of thing." And she was like, "No, man, I got Tokyo Games in 2020, so I'll just leave it and carry on."
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Like, you know, when people compare themselves to the athletes, you're like, yeah, that's just a different mindset altogether. Like, they don't care. Like, they've worked all their life for this Olympics. She was like, I don't need my shoulder for cycling. Nah, who cares? She's rested it 2 weeks, got back on the bike again. I was like, oh my God. Ridiculous.
Yeah, there we go. The Britain's Gemma Reekie. So she's just like shot up wearing her prototype is what I was looking for. So they're like prototype shoes. And she's broken 3 indoor records in the last month. They were addressing questions about her improvement in her spikes. And she was just like, nah, just pushing my body to the limit.
Technically, I think if you're doing something like Olympics or athletics, everyone should have to wear the same equipment, technically.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because this is the whole argument with the F1, right? But
that's the argument. That could be the argument with tennis. It could be argument with golf.
The thing with F1, the thing with F1 though is that it is also a car manufacturer's thing. It's not just about the driver. It is also to do with the manufacturer winning. If they win the thing. And I agree with you. I agree. Like, obviously, I'm not saying that it should be done. I'm saying that would be the way to stop it. Is just go right. Everyone uses the same stuff. Because it doesn't make. Because it's like the whole thing, isn't it? Like when you see amateur golfers with all the best.
You communist socialist man.
Oh no, that's definitely not me. But imagine if you like.
You just want the state to own all the railways, get it all back. Jeez, all right. Gee.
Tell you what, mate.
Such a Labour voter over here.
After going through the process of trying to fucking buy a house, I'm definitely not all about taxes. Fuck. But yeah, it's interesting because the good equipment argument, like you say, with other people, with amateurs and stuff, it makes no fucking difference. It makes no difference. But at that top level, it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Clearly, like, isn't like breaking records different.
Yeah, she's smashing records. She's been nowhere. Nobody's ever heard of her.
Because the golf committees have got together, haven't they, and said that they need to stop making.
Well, I 100% agree with this because this is it does a. I like play a lot of golf, and I'm probably on the higher end. I can hit a ball quite a long way, and all right, gee, but it doesn't mean it's in the right direction, my friend.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Wrong hole you're going for, but
wrong hole. Yeah. It goes a long way, but it can go even further into the wrong direction. So catch-22. But yeah, you can tend to like overpower courses as well. So it's. Especially at that level, like at the pro level, I think it's awful because the whole point is being good and shot making and skill, and that's just like, all right, well, I've got 600-yard par 4. You're like, wait a minute, what? How does that even exist? And you got to smash it 350 to 400 yards even to be anywhere near anything. So yeah, I agree. I think they should put a cap on that, on how far stuff should be able to fly.
Boring.
Huh?
Boring.
Yeah, but also you got to think of like
you're too good. So
because the golf courses are getting bigger, and the costs have to go up, and then because of the golf course, so all the greens and all the fairways and everything, so that it takes up more land, which is bad for the environment, I guess.
Oh, mate, come on, don't try that. These golfers don't care about that.
We'll talk about actual real things. All right, I've written down our most educational thing that we're going to talk about is common mistakes of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I can't even count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 things.
Well done, Tom. Good counting, mate.
10. Yes. All right. Basically, I need to plug in because I'm realizing I'm running low on battery then. So you're gonna scout your way through this first one, and I'm gonna come back to you. So, in terms of squatting. What are the most common mistakes that you see? Even people in the gym. What annoys you? Let's put it that phrase is probably a little bit better for you to digest. What annoys you about people squatting?
Yeah, Tom knows if he says annoys, I'll be going off for fucking hours.
Yeah, exactly. I'll move. I've got to go actually back into central London to go get my charger.
Yeah. So that's gonna be on point number 1.
Just round the corner.
Like squatting. Like I posted about this before on Instagram about different variations of squatting that are probably better for the majority of people to do. And my biggest bugbear with squatting is the fact that everyone seems to want to jump to do barbell squatting. And it's quite an advanced movement and quite an advanced exercise. And what people do with barbell back squatting is that they start putting weight on the bar, and what happens is that their range then gets smaller and smaller, and they don't realize that the fact that the problem with their range is now just that the weight's too heavy. They say to themselves, "Oh yeah, if I drop the weight, I could go lower." And I'm like, "Yeah, so drop the weight then, because it's not about how much you can half rep; it's about getting down to the full range." And I hate it when people say to me,
"I love those posts on there'll be like Facebook stuff, yeah, like, just definitely just gonna grind it back to work on my form after setting this RM." What?
No, that doesn't.
It wasn't one RM.
Rep. And it's that whole thing of it frustrates me. People go, "Oh yeah, well, without the weight on, I could go full range." Okay, so you're not strong enough to use the bar then. Like, just keep doing that. That frustrates me a hell of a lot. But the bit that you missed, Tom, when you're away was I said that people jump straight to barbell back squatting and they don't.
Was genius. I bet it was genius when I was away. I have to listen to the podcast to know.
And they don't appreciate the variations that are far easier to get full range on, like Bulgarian split squats, for example. Like normal split squats, like goblet squats. They just jump straight to doing the barbell work, and it's just frustrating because majority of the time, like, it's that thing of people saying, "Oh yeah, I can do barbell back squats with 50, 60 kilos," and you look at the range, you look at the form, you're like, "No, you can't." You give them a 40 kilo dumbbell to hold and do a goblet squat, they can't do anything with it. And like, okay, don't have so much weight on your back on a barbell back squat because you can't do this one yet. And people think that it's like a badge of honor to barbell back squat. Like, "Oh yeah, I have to go and squat in the squat rack with a barbell." It's like, no, you don't. You don't have to do that. It's really not an amazing thing that you can't get that sort of progress doing other things. So it's definitely people who make that mistake of jamming the weight on and then pretending like, "Oh yeah, no, it's fine. I'll just work on my form." Like you just said, it's like, no, that's not how it works. It's ridiculous. People, just trying to go too heavy with it. And also with that, people go so heavy on the barbell because the barbell's held on your back and you have so much room for error with that. They think that they can lift a lot heavier than they can. And then you get to Bulgarian split squat, they hold 15 kilos and they can't do a fucking thing with them. You're like, yeah, because you were just grinding it out using your upper body and your back and all sorts of crap when you're doing a barbell back squat. When you actually load your legs properly, they're not actually very strong, mate. Like, get them stronger. It's like when you see Ben Bruno doing those ridiculous, like, 120 kilo Bulgarian squats, and you're like, fuck, that's strong. Like, that's far more impressive than a 200 kilo back squat to me. But yeah, what about you, Tom? What annoys you?
What, in a squat? Or are we moving on? Oh,
we can do it. We can do alternate if you want, mate.
Yeah, I would an alternate. I mean, they annoy me anyway, but most.
Same answers for me and you anyway.
I mean, barbell back squats annoying anyway. I was landmine goblet squatting today.
Yeah, that's one thing I actually am looking forward to doing in the garage gym if we get one.
What, landmine goblet squatting? I'm gonna send you some links to some.
I'm gonna get like the Viking handles.
The Viking handles and the flip thing, the neutral like cleans. Oh, sick.
Don't worry about it, mate. Yeah, I'm getting it all kitted out. I was like,
and the Bruno grip, like, because you've got girly little hands.
I'm gonna try and get that. Yeah, but you need to send me links for that and can't wait.
Too much girth. I'd concur. But like poor range squatting, when you've got the range available to you, then use it, man. There's people that actually don't have that range mechanically, and they'd love to be able to squat to death. But yeah, just chuck it on a goblet. Go. Almost. You also, for those goblet squats and all the stuff you just said, you don't actually need a rack. And guess what? In the gym, there's probably only so many racks that you can use. Whereas you just need some floor space and a dumbbell to go goblet squat. Just throw around some tempos, get it fucking heavy. If you're goblet squatting 40 kilos, then bueno, mate, that's pretty good.
What did you say?
I said that's pretty good.
I thought that's what you said.
Yeah. All right, hinge would be that. So squat, next pattern, hinge. These are bilateral patterns. If anybody wants to know, what does that mean, Dan?
2.
Well done, good. Yeah. So I was quite dark because you could tell when my battery was running low that I turned on my bright.
Better when it was dark.
I turned on off.
With the hinging thing.
Whoa, what are you talking about this?
I'm just going to go for it anyway, just to push it off. You go first, Tom. I'll see if you get the right answer.
With a hinge, I guess we can go straight into rounded back stuff. just quite easily, and not realising that the hinge obviously does happen in a squat pattern, but the hinge pattern is just solely what's happening at your hips and having a little soft knee. There's a lot of this. I don't know if this comes from the classic kind of bodybuilding realms of stiff leg deadlifts. Seem to be like, stiff leg deadlift, sweet mate, right? It's pretty much no difference between that and an RDL. Don't know why you do that. It's a lot harder. It's a lot more tragic. So just do an RDL, absolutely fine. With the hinge movement, going a slightly too low would be an issue for me, and putting your back under a little bit of too much scrutiny, not realising where the end bit is. That will tend to be for females. They would feel like that they have to go through this ginormous range, which isn't their hinge, but it could be. They have to put themselves on a little platform. Also, I think this is more to deadlifting, I guess. Yeah, resetting. So resetting the bar would be a big one for me. I don't mind sometimes people bouncing if that's being cued in, and it wants, like, you're trying to make that happen if you're going for a few reps. But generally speaking, no go, deadlift. Like, put it down, reset, hinge, pick it up, reset, hinge, pick it up, and expect that in a hinge pattern, really want you to feel your hamstrings as much as possible. Yeah.
I think with the hinge, the most common thing that I see is people try and bend over rather than pushing their hips back. They try and touch the floor, and like, imagine if you were standing up, they're trying to almost like bend over a fence and touch the floor. Then they are trying to push their hips backwards and just keep their back nice and straight. And I think people forget that the hips can move backwards in that movement. They just try and keep them perfectly still and then bend over. And it's like, no, you like, the best thing to do is get soft knees and then push your hips backwards, like push your posterior back. That's a cue that I don't think a lot of people use. I think would help a lot of people with their form.
Yeah. Also realizing that once you have, so we do an interesting thing at Third Space where we don't say deadlift sometimes to new clients. We say hip hinge. Because of the negative connotation of deadlift, chances are somebody would have gone to a gym and hurt their lower back, probably just caused a little bit of muscular damage in a deadlift pattern, which they've associated as pain, which is just sensitivity and DOMS. But we would go, we're going to do a hip hinge movement. They're like, wow, we've never done one of these before.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, sparkly new exercise. You're like, no, it's still a deadlift, but we just use that language, use that coaching talent, right? But yeah, it's a good way of just tricking people into doing it. But yeah, that's an issue. Realizing that the lumbar spine does have a little bit of like flexion and extension. We don't particularly want it to do loads of it, but it does do it, and it's got muscle around it, so therefore will feel sore when it is trained. Correct?
Yeah. Correct.
That's what back extensions do, right? All that kind of stuff, or like rounded back extensions. Those are nice. And people will get really like arsey with you because you're in massive kind of lumbar flexion. And the reason being, there's no way to go. You can only lumbar extend if you're in as much lumbar flexion as possible at end range. You can't lumbar flex anymore because it's not loaded. It's not there. Yep. Crazy. It's only going to be all butt. That's all it's going to be. Right, we got lunge pattern, number 3. So lunge pattern within a sticks. Kind of split squat, any kind of split stance, lungy patterns.
People try and
does move, not static.
Yeah, people try and like do it on a tightrope. They like try and get their feet in line. They like try and get their feet in line. Do you know what I mean? Like rather than like having one foot just go directly backwards and keep in a nice kind
of a different cue. It's an inline lunge. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of try and do an inline lunge and then wonder why their balance is off. Like, well.
Ooh.
Try lunging train tracks rather than on a tightrope. That's what we used to say.
That's a great cue. Well done. That's literally one I use.
Yeah. It's in Bulgarians though as well. Like even that's a static one. But even with that, rather than going one foot there and the other foot slightly off, they try and go one behind the other, and it's like no, don't do that.
It's hard.
It's really hard. Like try, if anything, make it a tiny bit wider. You get a wider base of support. You feel a bit more stable.
And that's your progression.
That's too crazy, mate. That's too crazy, though, isn't it?
Compensatory progression. Yeah, that's mental. But yeah, lunge patterns. Yeah, I'd say we beat this everywhere doing fucking forward lunges, like loaded, bouncing out of like, since I've been into more accelerative and like running mechanics and stuff like that, I understand a little bit more the premise of a forward lunge pattern for deceleration. And a lunge, if we were going to say what a lunge is, it's a fall and a catch. You're not loaded, you're falling and you're catching yourself from hitting the floor. So that's what a lunge should look like, falling, catching, not this kind of stepping split squat that most people do. You're like, you just done a split squat, but you've travelled whilst doing a split squat. Why have you done that? Thank you. You could have stayed in the same place and alternated, but fall and catch is what you're trying to do. That bugs me. But yeah, the forward lunge. So when you bounce back, good for deceleration, bad for knees. Don't like them loaded. Like them for some sporting backgrounds. Kind of all sporting backgrounds, they've got to change of direction. That's about it. That's the only place I'd use them. Yeah? Ooh, single leg hinge. Is this the same thing?
Most people get wrong.
Oh, this is like the single leg RDL stuff.
Yeah.
What would most people get wrong here? What would be the biggest thing? 100 times over, this is the biggest thing that I would do to someone who is just starting to single leg hinge, or even seasoned professionals like me and you. And I got one of your clients to do it yesterday.
Go on then.
I gave them another support handle.
Yeah.
Because I realised probably her goal isn't compensatory movement patterns and to be more balanced. It's probably look a little bit better and feel her glute and her hamstring a bit better. So yeah, I gave her an unstable one. I gave her a little TRX, so it wasn't completely a wall. So she still had it move around a bit, but I like that because it just gets you to focus on what's meant to be working. And if your goal is aesthetic, and it will definitely help with balance and all this kind of stuff, because I'm going to bet that even though me and Dan probably were to use a point of contact most of the time when we train, we can definitely do it without as well. Without any problem, just through recruitment, and we know what pattern's being grooved, and we're not training a compensatory pattern straight out the bat. So it should not I'm getting older. The term "earn the right" is like, earn the right. It's just an exercise. It's fine. You don't have to earn the right to do anything. But but yeah, just go there, groove that in, then go through that one. And then the second biggest one for those, like single leg RDL patterns, is just the equipment. If you've got a cable machine, use that first. Then use a kettlebell. Use one. Don't try and use two. That's going to be harder. It's like, it's like a super load and super unbalancey. It's like, no, just use one, put it in the middle of you. What? Yeah, just do that.
Crazy, isn't it?
It's mental. And then on your back leg, I think flying it around everywhere. Just that biggest point is always make sure on the leg that's going backwards, I always make sure that your toe is pointing towards the floor or the other leg. If you can do that, it's going to solve a hell of a lot of issues. And you'll be like, oh my God, my adductors and my hamstrings are good. Good, mate. Big problem. Very good. Because you get this whole weird hip thing going on. You start opening yourself out like a book.
Yeah.
Weird. I'd imagine that's probably an exercise. It is definitely an exercise for stability on hip. It's a form of external rotation, kind of backward, forward. You're moving the top.
Yeah, it's not really going to do much, though, is it?
Not going to do much. But yeah, it does things. All right, mate. Let's go vertical push.
Oh, massive arch of the back, like huge. Like just turn it into an incline press.
Yeah.
Like that's number one.
CrossFit maneuver.
Usually because people don't have the mobility in their shoulder, so they just do that rather than, like you said, landmine presses and things like that. That's a common one.
I'd say so. Yeah. One that I feel like I'm going to get digged from you, and it definitely does recruit slightly different muscles, but like dumbbell pressing or overhead pressing, not to kind of full range. I would tend to go from like nearly a front rack position, like on a landmine, all the way up. So I'm gonna, more often than not, either with a dumbbell or whatever, kettlebell or landmine, I'm gonna be almost thumb on clavicle, so my collarbone when I'm pressing. There is a tendency in a bodybuilding community not to do that, but it's for aesthetics, I guess. It just bugs me. I'd rather be a bit more full. Talk to me why you wouldn't. Give me the counter argument, mate, because I know there is one.
The counter argument is the active range, isn't it, of the muscle group that you're using, or whatever you want to call it. Like, I'd be more inclined to go with you, though. Like, I don't think for the majority of people it's worth putting yourself in a position where that's going to be a problem.
I think there's too much risk on the fact that if you go out of whatever this kind of little pronated position is, so you're like, I don't know, your fist to the ceiling, right? And there's just, 20 centimeters backwards or forwards, you're fucked. I feel you're gonna bail out. You're not gonna lift it. You're gonna It's
funny that a lot of bodybuilders as well. What they do is they actually press now from a high incline position for their delts. For that reason, that actually instead of coming to that neutral position, they actually just take that out of the equation by bringing their shoulder forward a bit more. And it's a similar safety mechanism, I suppose, is probably the best way of terming it. It's just to make sure you don't fuck yourself up. So that's why like that completely bolt upright shoulder press, right out to the side is probably not the best thing to do.
No.
In fact, I'm going to film that tomorrow for Instagram. I've just written that down to film. Yeah.
Redo your own shoulder presses, correct?
Because it is true. It's like and that's even where like down to the single arm, like just single arm standing. It instantly improves people's position because they realize they are arching too much. They realize that standing up, they fucking do move over that way. Shoulder pressing just fucks a lot of people up, and it really doesn't need to. It's really not that difficult.
That's not that difficult, and it's fine to do. But go from pick the incline that you like best, and just use that one. Probably get your shoulder. Be fine. All right, so go from horizontal push.
The most painful thing that I see is people that just don't have any sort of control of the eccentric. They just drop it down and then push. Yeah, I hate it with dumbbells, barbells, anything. Horrible.
Is that worse than the barbell going absolutely nowhere near their chest?
No, yes, for me, yes, it is. Because they're the kind of people that would claim that they can do full range, but actually are just bouncing out the bottom with their shoulder joint. I don't know.
But then there's the guys that claim they could. Let's say a nice number is 100 kilos. They can claim they can bench 100 kilos, yet they're probably just unracking, re-racking.
Yeah.
This kind of shoulder movement.
But I think
tend to bend their elbow. A good set of elbow bends, and then that's about it.
Most people who listen to this are not going to be in that camp. They're more likely to be another one than that one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and they're probably relying on that shoulder girdle to have some sort of stretch reflex to get out, right?
And people rely on their shoulders too much in that press. If you should concentrate, in the mind muscle connection on your chest should be more than anything. A lot of people I think rely on their shoulders and triceps more than they do.
Shoulder health is a big one as well. Because straight barbell pressing should be for absolute strength, and that's about it. If you've got a football bar or a Swiss bar or a neutral bar thing in your gym, go smash one of them for pressing. I mean, mate, way better for shoulder health because it keeps your thing called your clavicular joint in a nice place. And there's a lot of bursa there. Bursas?
I don't know what you call it.
little pads of fat, basically, that usually get pissed off if you rub them. You know who doesn't get pissed off when you rub him now?
Wow.
Moving on. But yeah, it's the pronated grip is not the great for. I don't like pronated grips as a thing. Just go into make thumbs up and then make a right angle in your thumbs. There's your grip. Lovely. Point your thumbs together, not straight up. Right angle. That's what I like. Better than neutral as well, because I feel like tendency of neutral people just start, I don't know, being so tricepy, and it just carries over into their push-ups. So I'm not a big fan of these weird tricep push-ups because you tend to lag when you push up as well. It's not a nice straight line. It's not as aesthetically pleasing as the nice right angle one, like an arrow. If your arms look like an arrow from your torso, that's what I want. That's what I want. Your coach might want something else, but
no, I'd say the
same. I'm saying somebody else, whoever's listening to this, they might have something else. Might have some more ideals. I don't know. They might have a reason. They have a rationale. Come at me. We've got pulls, vertical. Let's go pull-ups and lat pull-downs are the big ones.
Oh, fucking range again. Like pull-ups is not enough, and then lat pull-downs too much.
Too much.
Hips. I'm like, no, it doesn't go down there.
I like the swingers, swingy lat pull-downs. Those guys, whoosh, but it's half lat pull-down, half horizontal row or horizontal pull. Really, it's like I know I'm not strong here, but I am strong through the horizontal plane.
Yeah, I choose my biceps, pull it in. That's right.
Go lats into rhomboid into lat. Good. I'm glad you recruited that. That's a bit odd. You know what is good? That we have mag grips everywhere now.
Yes.
They are lovely, aren't they?
They are, bro.
If you're in a gym with them, use them. They are a lot more comfortable because they're not this strict bar thing. They tend to be at slightly different angles, which are what we said, like the thumbs together thing for your pressing. Exactly the same thing happens for your pulling. It's called scapular plane motion, and it's nice and comfortable. Doesn't piss off shoulders. Recruits the right amount of muscle, right? The right amount of muscle recruits the muscle. If there's a right amount of muscle to recruit.
All of it, surely.
As much as possible, tendency. So you can lift the heaviest load. Oh, okay, cool. Very odd. But that's lat pull downs. Yeah, weird things. People going straight. I don't understand I'm going to go straight into the widest lat pull down I can do mentality. I hate the wide lat pull downs. Can't stand them. I think you quite like them because you quite like a wide row as well.
Yeah, only because I can feel it. I feel it all right in there. But I genuinely think a lot of it is from watching people. I think this is the problem. A lot of the time is like, this is my big bugbear with Instagram, people posting their workouts on there. Like, what is someone supposed to do with that workout? What, do it once? What, do it like forever? Like, and it's all about that. We talk about this all the time about our continuums for exercises and movements. And it's like, you're watching someone on Instagram doing something that's the far end of that. They might feel wide lat pull downs. They can do, the other day I saw a fucking Gymshark workout. The guy said the workout was 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps pull-ups to start. Mate, I don't know if you live in the real world or not, but that's quite hard, like, for most people. And they see these people doing it and think that's how they have to do it. And then when they can't, they just try and cheat their way to it. And I'm like, no, just start with a close grip pull down, mate. It's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Like, really don't worry about it. Or better still, start with the single arm cable row. Like, don't go overhead just yet. Just keep it there.
I mean, not to put that Gymshark program into scrutiny, but I mean, Mike Boyle's programs have like 3 sets of 8 pull-ups, but it also says underneath, if pull-ups are too hard, back down to TRX rows.
Oh, it didn't say that on there, mate. No.
Oh, did it not? Okay, cool. Interesting. Horizontal pull.
Similar thing, really, but a lot of the time with horizontal, I think, is pull to
your armpit and not your hip. People
do that,
tend to pull up towards their armpit to recruit their bicep as much as possible.
And also just allow far too much like movement in the upper body, just like just pulling any way they can. So that's one thing. Which
is a time and a place, but generally speaking, with most pulls, so any single arm pulls or whatever, we know is another category down here is anti-rotation. So you probably don't want to rotate through your thorax and your upper body. You want to keep dead straight, and you're probably going to get a little bit more burn. They should be anti-rotational exercises unless you approach them as a rotational exercise, and that would probably be done by your coach. I wouldn't say that's general pop stuff because you need a reason to it. But yeah, I think it's, especially with rows, people would like going towards their armpit and getting as much bicep involved as much as possible when Probably a little bit better when I say row into your hip. I want that dumbbell to brush your hip. I'll put it in your pocket. Yeah, nice cue. All right, last two, mate. We have rotation and anti-rotation.
Rotation is just flipping using your whole body rather than actually your torso. Like people just fucking throw themselves around.
This is difficult because lots of stuff rotates. So I think when we're saying rotation, we're thinking mainly thoracic rotation, right?
Yeah, and the best way to do that is to keep your lower half stable. Put it in a stable position where it can't really do much, can't really move, like half kneeling position, for example. Be far better. People, do it standing up, and you just see all sorts of stuff happening with their legs, and it's just like, no, probably not doing what you should be doing. But
there's a thing in the FMS, isn't there? There's segmentation of rolling, isn't there? That's I don't know, some sort of corrective where you learn to roll your upper body without the lower body moving, and vice versa. So the lower body rolls without the upper body moving, and how your segmentation of rotation happens.
Yeah,
there's a lot of shuns in that sentence. It was quite confusing. And then anti-rotation, anti.
I feel like with anti-rotation, there's not huge amounts you can fuck up. Well, that's why it's quite a good exercise.
You've got to go see Dean Somerset's post that you pointed out to me earlier. The sagittal plane anti-rotation.
Palloff press, yeah.
Yeah. Not Palloff press, because Mike Boyle refuses to call it Palloff press.
I know, that's why we call it Palloff press.
Or was it has been in the presentation that was done on Friday to us, and you know who you are if you listen. The Palov press with a V at the end.
The V, is it? Palov.
Yeah. Lots of interesting spellings and names I like in presentations. I do love all the presentations that are done to me in First Space for lots of the like hierarchy qualifications. But there are some interesting spellings and names as exercises that have obviously been. It's like Chinese whispers.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, is that right? We should get a list of that, actually. The names that people have called stuff that's not quite correct. Overheard at the gym. Yeah. But anti-rotation, that's Palloff presses. Any single arm thing should be an anti-rotation, like I said. But you can't do much wrong with Palloff press. Don't rotate.
Don't move much.
Also, if there's a tendency for it to be too heavy, then they can't quite get their arms straight. It's like a tiny little move.
And maybe rushing it a little bit, like just pushing it out and come back in straight away. But
there's the one when I'm sure did this make your news feed? And we asked John Palloff about it, because obviously the creator of the Palloff press. But we asked him about the banded Palloff presses, but banded with a little plate on it, so it's like a chaos Palloff press. So you punch it out really hard, and then it kind of jerks around for a bit, and then like you're meant to control that.
I've not seen it.
Oh, if you're not, I'll show you. But yeah, you kind of attach a band, you do a Palloff press with a band, put like a 2.5 kilo plate on it, and when you press it out, it should shake around, essentially, because of the plate. And it's like a chaos Palloff press. Much like the chaos presses with, like, I don't know, kettlebells hanging off shit and bamboo presses and stuff like that, other pointless stuff. And then he was just like, sent this through, and then people started banding shit and hanging off weights and crap. Does nothing. What's the point? Just do it correctly. He was so annoyed by it. And I know some trainers that definitely do it. But each their own.
Anything looks good. If it looks good, they mate. You know.
If it looks gimmicky, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, that's right. But that's 10 things, mate. That was the most educational 20-25 minutes of our lives.
Probably.
Interesting. We'll cap it there as well, because we're reaching a 53 minute.
It's late as well.
Do you know what I mean? Gone 9:30.
Crazy.
So I've got no clients. So I don't know what you're doing.
I have, so I'm all good.
I've got to do interviews tomorrow. So good luck, everybody.
Have fun with that.
If everybody listens to this show before, you know what you may be doing. I'm interviewing in the afternoon as well, so there's a possibility of that happening. Interesting. Shall I read out the one? No, don't. No. That'll be fine. All right, any other news, mate?
No, not from me.
No, not from me either. All right, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next week.